And I drove in from Massachusetts, that's why.
It's not an excuse to be late.
Yeah, okay. It's no excuse not to uphold the law either.
Ma'am, do you have that number?
No, I do not have that available, sorry.
All right, hold please. You can just hold for a minute.
Do we have to do the acknowledgement of the video beforehand?
You may.
Okay. Beautiful.
She has nothing to do with my daughter.
That's true. That is true.
I just need 2 minutes for my computer
Okay,
to fire up.
sure.
Thank you.
Ma'am, when you're ready to go, then I'm gonna take your name for the appearance, and I'll take the other, Miss Chris, and Mr. and Cameron, Chris, also have you state your names for the record, but I'll wait.
And I'd like to be sworn in, and all parties sworn in.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'm recalling the matter of 2/16/2004 DM 913. This is the matter of Margaret Chris and Roland Howe. The record will reflect that this matter was scheduled for a 9 a.m. hearing. Ms. Chris appeared late, at least at 9:10, at which time the court waited until after 9:05 to begin the hearing. At the time of the hearing, the only person present was the court CART interpreter whom Ms. Chris requested. She appears today, ma'am. Would you please state your name for the record?
Donna Wells.
Thank you. All right. And then I will ask also all parties present in the courtroom to state their name for the record, starting with you, ma'am.
Margaret Chris?
Okay, thank you.
Cameron Chris Chambers.
All right, thank you very much. Appearing telephonically, Roland Howe was scheduled to appear. Mr. Howe is the respondent in this matter. For the record, ma'am, on the line, your name?
My name is Paula House.
Okay, and for the record, because you were not here, ma'am, what's transpired is that when we called into the line, Ms. Howe appeared. She told the court that Mr. Howe is on an airplane and unavailable for this hearing on today's date. You've asked that I swear her in. She's not a party to this proceeding.
Well, then why is she on the video?
Ma'am, she called in to say that Mr. Howe is unable to appear today. But for the record, ma'am, I'll ask you to raise your right hand. Ms. Howe, do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony or information you provide to this court is true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes,
All right, and so, again, so we're clear, would you state for the court your understanding of why Mr. Howe is unable to attend this scheduled hearing today?
he was scheduled for an earlier flight, and there was an ice storm, and basically the plane circled around, and he is still in flight, waiting to be dropped off.
Okay. The second question that I was inquiring, because I'm gonna have to reschedule this hearing, is I wanted to know your current address to make sure that it was accurate. And you said to the court that your address continues to be 9320 in DeMott, Indiana, west, what's the street name?
1300 North.
Okay, and it's West DeMott?
Elizabeth, you're too loud.
Okay, and then ma'am,
I'm so sorry.
as Ms. Chris was coming into the courtroom at that time, I was inquiring of a telephone number for Mr. Howe.
Yes.
So,
I will have to contact Comcast to see what the home phone number is, and I will relay it to the receptionist.
okay.
Who doesn't know that?
I understand, ma'am, that you are not a party to this proceedings, and you called
Yes,
in.
ma'am.
You called in to advise the court of Mr. Howe's inability to participate. I would ask that you relay to Mr. Howe, and I'll indicate it in the order that I issue, that he is required by prior court orders to have a working telephone number that is available for Miss Chris to contact, so she's able to contact Brandy Lee. That is a prior court order. It's not been changed.
It hasn't
That-
been enforced
That's-
at all.
That's not, this matter was scheduled today for a status conference to talk about the status of the evaluation that I ordered. I'm not gonna take testimony from you, ma'am, because you're not a party to this proceeding, and I wanna hear from Mr. Howe. But to the extent that you provide information to him after this, you can let him know that he needs to have a working telephone number, it needs to be provided to mother forthwith, and that I am in waiting for receipt of the name of the evaluator that I've ordered him to take Brandy Lee to. And then I'll be indicating that that will be addressed again at the next scheduled hearing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All
I
right.
do.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I'm gonna look for another date that we can have the status conference.
May I speak? I'd like to
Yes.
be heard.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
asking for your recusal. This is the 4th time Roland has been ordered to get counseling for Brandy Lee. Not only that, you cut me out of it by saying that I harassed Dr. Sean Whale when that isn't the truth at all, and he's willing to give testimony stating to that we only had 2 conversations. And you based your court orders on perjury, and you have not been fair or partial to any of this, and I have already placed a complaint with the Judicial Conduct Committee, and I'm asking for your recusal today.
Is there anything, ma'am, as to the status of this matter that you would want to address today before I
Yes, there's, your court orders are not being followed, all my mail is being returned, I sent a package to Brandy Lee, I had to pay $40 for postage after I spent $100 to send it out, because he's not accepting court orders, he's not accepting mail, he's not giving me a phone number, he's not allowing me to talk to Brandy Lee. I wanna be involved in my daughter's counseling. I have every right to be, I have an unalienable right to be a parent to my child. I have not had my parental rights terminated, and you're allowing Roland and Paula to deprive me of those rights.
Now, also, we'd like to state that we cannot take any word said by Paula correctly due to the fact that she has forged her name and has
Yes, on
illegally
numerous
frauded herself
documents,
as Margaret and the
including
mother.
medical records and school records.
Okay.
So nothing she could be said could be taken for account. I doubt Roland is on a plane.
And
In
who
fact,
doesn't know
he's
their phone
probably
number?
there. He's probably there right now.
So-
Also, Paula's continuous third-party interference is mostly what Brandy's school and records have gone to. Roland is not the first parent to be involved with it. It goes Paula, then Roland. So, again, there's only so
And
much
I'm
we can
being
take
cut
from
out
her,
completely,
unfortunately.
and I had to go to the Department of Education in Washington DC to prove who I am because she's listed as the mother on all my daughter's documents.
I recall you've told me that.
Also, I don't know how she can raise her right hand and have, proof that she's doing when she's doing this from home. Come on.
And Roland had plenty time to prepare for this hearing. I drove in from another state, he had plenty time to appear.
So-
And when he doesn't appear, the court orders are supposed to go, there's supposed to be something done for him not showing up.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna reschedule this hearing for,
Yolanda?
yes, ma'am?
Because I was brought inside the court, may I,
No, I'm not gonna, you are not a party to this proceeding. If you wanna come at a future hearing and be called as a witness by Mr. Howe, you are able to do that. The purpose of this hearing today was intended to be a status conference for the court to have information about compliance with my court order that Brandy.
There has been no
be-
compliance
be
at all,
least
ever.
enrolled in that. And one thing I would just want to clarify for you, ma'am, as you understand, I issued the order at the end of September, simply that we have a name for somebody. Thereafter, it is not.
But you said that I wasn't privy to that information based on perjury.
Also, you took his entire monologue of
Would
how
you-
well Mr. Reeland was working with her and how well you ate it up. No offense, ma'am. You ate that up and he lied straight to your face.
If you'll let me just finish, what my intent is, and as I indicated
This
in
is
the
the fourth
order,
counselor.
is after she has the evaluation, you absolutely will be entitled to have a copy of that, to cross-examine that person, to call your own witnesses in that event. It was simply getting the name of somebody so we could get it
No,
done.
but you cut me out.
If it,
You cut me out.
And talked to her behind chambers.
Yes.
We
Okay.
severely
So
disagreed
When we
with
asked
it.
you not to.
and
Because
so,
you're not a child psychologist, and
I-
she's heavily alienated,
I
and they
do
practice
note your
domestic
objection.
violence by proxy.
Not to mention you've completely
all right, so
nodded to the
I'm
fact that
gonna-
she's never been to counseling
I'm
whatsoever.
going to end this
But, Your
hearing
Honor,
now.
I have 5 children else that I have to take care of.
Okay, I'm gonna end the hearing now.
Don't have 5 kids.
I'm going to issue a new date, at which time we will take up the pending issues, including compliance with the court order, your ability to contact Brandy Lee via
That doesn't
telephone.
happen,
I know that you've told me that, and I've just asked for the telephone number,
and you weren't given one.
Also, I would like
so
to,
noted.
I would also like to say, if you could please make sure this is exactly what happened, because this happened last time, not before our last case, but the court before that. You said that we would address several issues.
And they weren't.
And then when we actually had the case, you didn't allow us to address the issues. You said you only wanted to focus on one subject. If we're going to actually address these issues at the next subject, I would please allow to actually address those issues.
Okay,
Because we
so-
keep saying we're gonna do it at the next one,
And
and then it
not
never
one
happens.
contempt has been issued, no sanctions have been issued, and he has disobeyed every single order you wrote.
All right,
Including
so
telling you,
I-
I'm on the other side, come over here.
Yeah, I'm on my side of the beach.
And you left the room at that point.
Okay, so with that, then, this hearing will be concluded. I'll issue a new order of hearing notice in the mail, which likely will be in the month of January. So this, so you know. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please rise.
I did have one question.
Yes, the hearing is concluded, ma'am.
Thank you.
I told who she was. Good.